we want to convert from degrees to radians or radians to degrees. And we'll be able to tell when something is in degrees based on the degree symbol and when something is in radians based on the lack of degree symbol, not necessarily the presence of pi. Interesting. Good to know. So what I want to do is convert from degrees to radians, but I'm going to use this setup. So I have degrees, I don't have radians. Let's switch colors. Let's use black. I do have 320 degrees, and it's equal to pi over 180 degrees, and I don't know how many radians it is. I'm just going to fill in everything I know here. I'll always know this side, and I will know one of the things on this side, and we're just simply going to cross multiply. It's really going to be this easy. So we're going to have cross multiplying 180x equals 320 pi, and I did take the degree symbols off. It's like you can divide by those units in a sense, so totally okay. We're going to divide by 180, divide by 180, and that cancels. So x is equal to 320 pi over 180. Well, nobody likes that. That is disgusting and is in desperate need of reduction. So we're going to reduce it, and let's see, 20 goes into that numerator, 20 goes into that denominator. So we're going to divide both sides, both numerator and denominator, by 20. When I divide 20 into that, I get 16 pi. Divide 20 into that, I get 9. So 16 pi over 9 radians. Now, I don't have to write the word radians. One of my teachers in high school said radians is a phantom unit. It has the way the unit itself is defined. You don't have to write a symbol like you would with degrees. That's it. It's just that right there, based on the way it's defined. So this one is in radians because there is no degree symbol. So we're going to have radians over degrees, which we don't know, and that's equal to pi over 180. This one's going to be a little bit more obvious. Okay, let me just cover up something for a second. Pi over 180 equals pi over 180, right? You with me on this? Yeah, it's true. So if pi over 180 equaled pi over 180, and I wanted to throw in some extra stuff, it better be some understood stuff that was already there. Pi over 180 divided by what? I would have to divide by 1. 1. Okay, 1. Well, this is 180 degrees, so 1 degree. 1 degree is pi over 180 degrees. What pi over 180 radians. All right, 124. What is this? This is radians, boys and girls. This is radians. It is not degrees. There is not a degree symbol. And there's some lines on mine. The printer did it. I blame the printer. So radians over degrees equals pi over 180. So radians over degrees equals pi over 180 degrees. And we're going to cross multiply. So that's going to give us pi times x equals 180 times 124. This one's going to be a little sloppy. 180 times 124. It's going to give me, wow, 320 degrees. Great. So x equals 320 degrees over pi. We can get a decimal out of that if you like. I'm going to go a little further. We're going to divide that by pi, and I'm going to get 7104. I like 3 decimal places. I cannot lie. There we go. That's what we get on that one. All right, we have a handful more to do, literally a handful. There are 5. I'm going to speed this up a little bit, but we're going to continue with this idea. Radians over degrees equals pi over 180. So radians, which we don't know, over degrees equals pi over 180. We'll cross multiply. That gives us 85 degrees times pi, and then 180 degrees times x. I'm going to just go ahead and, without even doing it, cancel the degrees. We're going to divide by 85, both sides. That's not what we're going to do. That is the wrong thing to do. We're going to have to divide by 180. Man, I'm solving for pi here. That was tragic. If you see something, just divide by it. Doesn't matter what it is. 180. There we go. We're going to divide by 180. So x equals 85 pi over 180. I hope you're noticing by now that most radians are, and not this one was definitely an exception, most radians are in terms of pi, which really makes sense given the fact that there's 2 pi radians in one entire circle. All right, we're going to reduce this thing. Numerator and denominator both divisible by 5. Well, pi is not, but whatever. We're going to divide 5 into that. 5 goes into 180, 36 times. Yeah, that works. And therefore, we have reduced it to be 17 pi over 36. All right, clearly degrees, we're looking for radians. Radians over degrees equals pi over 180. Radians over degrees equals pi over 180. Oh no, I think my ink pen's running out of ink. You know what that means? It means I'm going to cross multiply wrong. Might divide wrong, might cross multiply wrong. Pen's running out of ink. It's just tragic. I just don't know what to do with it. I hope you're really noticing also that in the process of solving for these, you're always going to divide by 180, unless you decide just to do it wrong, you know, just saying. So x equals 900 pi over 180, and actually 180 does go into 900. It goes in 5 times. We're left with 5 pi. If you want a visual for that one, you know you do. A 900-degree angle, and this is going to make so much sense when you see it. 900 degrees would be 180, 360, give me a second, add 180 to that is 540, add 180 to that is going to give you 720, add 180 to that is going to give you 900. It's going to come all the way back around to this side, so it would start here, it's going to end here, it goes, let's swing this thing around, swing your angle to and fro. 1 time around, 2 times around, boom, it ends there. This is a 900-degree angle. But you remember when I told you, the lights just went out, time's up. Remember when I told you that if you have 2 pi radians in a circle, it's the equivalent of 360 degrees? Okay, so if this is 2 pi all the way around. 1 pi, 2 pi. All right, hold that thought. 1 pi, 2 pi, 3 pi, 4 pi. It sounds like a Dr. Seuss book. 5 pi. See? Isn't that neat? I know, right? All right, let's keep going. Doing math in the dark. The light's coming in the window so you can see, but I look across the room and it's crazy. All right. It's like I've never been in the dark before. This is radians. It is the lack of the degree symbol that tells us that. Usually radians has a pi involved. This one does not. I don't know degrees. And there we go. It is possible to have a pi involved in your degrees, but it's really rare. So what we're going to do is cross multiply this one. We're going to have pi times x, and we'll multiply those as well. We're going to have 8 over 15 times 180 degrees, and 15 goes into 180, oh gosh, 12 times. So that's going to mean that I have pi times x equals, and if you want to reduce this and do the old-fashioned way, you could be like 12 goes into that, or 15 goes into that 12 times, and then 12 times 8 is 96. We do have a degree symbol there. Technically, this would be like 12 degrees if we're keeping our units with us. So 96-degree angle. So x would equal 96 degrees over pi, and that's correct, but let's go a little bit further. We're going to do 96 divided by pi, and we're going to get 30.558 degrees. All right, 2 more. This one is, it has a pi, but it is in degrees. That's weird. So it's going to go down here. 7 pi over 12. We don't know radians, and that's pi over 180. That's going to give us, there we go, degree symbol. Those are the sounds it makes. 180x equals 7 pi over 12 times pi. That's weird. We're going to bring our work up here. That's going to give us 180x, which equals 7 pi times pi. That's pi squared. Whoa, it's getting delicious. We're going to divide by 180, and I love to divide by 180, but I want to represent it a little bit differently. Let's multiply by the reciprocal of 180. So 7 pi squared over 12 times 180 in the denominator. That just divided by 180, didn't show the work. Let's just go ahead and type this thing in. It's gross. And it is in radians, so we don't need a degree symbol anymore. So 7 pi, it's pi squared, same thing. See, told you. And then we're going to divide by, let's put this in parentheses, 12 times 180. And wow, 0.032 radians. You don't have to write the word radians. All right, last one's going to be an easy one. Radians over degrees equals pi over 180. 180x equals 36 pi. We're going to divide by 180, and we're going to cancel those, and we're going to get 36 over 180. Well, 36 goes into 180 5 times? Yeah, 5 times. So we're going to have 5 pi. Whoa, we're not. No, we're not. Not going to have 5 pi. Good grief. Silly man. 36 goes into itself 1 time. 36 goes into 185 times. It is pi over 5. Mixing up my numerators and denominators. Get arrested for that stuff. This is radians. Don't need a degree symbol.